The journey to Elara. The dawn was quiet when Mix left the castle. The soft gold of morning light kissed the stone walls, and the guards bowed as he passed. Behind him, the kingdom still slept, but at a high window, Sophia stood, watching, her eyes glistening in the dim light. "Come back to me," she whispered, her breath fogging the glass. Mix adjusted the royal seal hanging from his neck, a gift from the king, and stepped onto the road leading beyond the gates. The journey to Elara would take 5 days. 5 days through forest, mountain, and storm. 5 days to face the unknown and discover the power his father had promised. Day 1, the Whispering Forest. By midday, the path wound deep into the Whispering Forest. The air grew heavy with mist, and faint murmurs drifted through the trees. "Mix," a voice whispered, his father's voice. He froze. The sound came again, closer, filled with sorrow. "Help me, my son." He followed the sound until he reached a clearing, and found nothing but shadows moving on their own. Suddenly, ghostly shapes formed, twisting into the faces of those he'd failed. His mother, fallen comrades, even Sophia. Mix fell to one knee, clutching his head. "No, none of this is real." He gritted his teeth and slammed his fist into the ground. "I will not be fooled." The illusions shattered like glass, the forest returning to silence. A ray of sunlight pierced through the canopy, landing on his face, as if the gods themselves acknowledged his will. Day 3, the Guardian of the Pass. 2 days later, Mix climbed the rocky mountain path that led toward Elara. Wind howled like a beast, and the trail narrowed between jagged cliffs. Then the ground trembled. From the rock itself, a giant figure rose, a strong stone guardian, eyes glowing blue, a spear in hand. "None shall pass who carry mortal fear," it thundered. Mix drew his sword, though exhaustion still clung to his body. The creature swung its spear, and Mix barely rolled aside, sparks flying from stone and steel. He couldn't overpower it, not yet. Thinking fast, he noticed the cracks glowing on the creature's chest, its weak point. Timing his move, he dodged another strike, then leapt onto its arm, scaling up toward the chest. With a roar, he plunged his blade into the glowing core. The guardian froze, light fading from its eyes before collapsing into rubble. Mix stood panting among the stones. "Even gods can fall," he muttered, continuing onward. Day 5, the Oracle of Elara. At last, the forest ended, and a silver mist rose before him. There, in the heart of a quiet valley, stood the Temple of Elara, its marble walls glowing faintly beneath the moonlight. He entered the temple, and the air shimmered. From the mist stepped a woman draped in silver veils, eyes glowing like stars. "Welcome, son of Perseus," she spoke softly. "I am the Oracle of Elara. You seek to awaken what sleeps within." Mix bowed respectfully. "Yes, the kingdom faces war. I must protect them. My father told me my power is awakening, but I don't know how." The oracle approached, placing her hand over his heart. The crescent mark on his chest began to glow faintly, pulsing with light. "You carry the spark of gods," she whispered, "but you fear it, and fear chains the divine. To awaken, you must embrace who you are, not who you were." The mark flared, and power surged through him. Light and wind swirling, lifting his cloak. For a moment, he saw visions of lightning, oceans, and winged warriors, fragments of Olympus itself. Then it ended. The oracle stepped back. "Your strength is rising, but your true power," she warned, "will awaken only in sacrifice." Mix nodded, the words echoing in his mind as he turned to leave. The return. 5 days after his departure, the gates of the castle opened once more. The guards cheered as Mix walked through, his eyes sharper, his aura different, stronger. The king greeted him with pride. "Welcome home, hero of Perseus." That night, a grand banquet filled the hall. Music played, candles flickered, and laughter echoed against the marble walls. Sophia rushed to him the moment she saw him, hugging him tightly. "You kept your promise," she whispered. Mix smiled. "Always." As the night went on, the king raised his goblet. "To the warrior who returned from the path of gods." The hall erupted in cheers. But outside, thunder rolled across the horizon, a low, distant growl that spoke of war drawing near. Mix looked toward the window, eyes narrowing. "The storm's coming," he murmured. The night before the storm. The grand banquet stretched long into the night. The golden hall shimmered with light and laughter, but beneath the surface, an unease lingered. Servants moved between tables pouring wine. Musicians played softly. Yet the king's eyes often drifted toward the dark horizon beyond the windows, where distant thunder rolled. When the celebration waned, the king beckoned Mix aside. Together they stepped into the royal study, away from the noise of the feast. The room was quiet, but heavy with tension. "Sit, Mix," the king said, his voice grave. "There's news from the scouts who returned at dusk." Mix sat, his expression steady. "From the Silver Clan." The king nodded. "Yes, Aaron's forces have crossed the northern border. Their banners bear silver flame. Their full army marches under his father's command. We have 5 days, perhaps less, before they reach the valley." Mix's jaw tightened. "Then there's no time to waste. My power has awakened partially, enough to fight, but not enough to end this war. Still," he looked the king in the eyes, "I won't let this kingdom fall." The king studied him for a moment, then slowly smiled. "You've earned my trust, Mix, not by your bloodline, but by your heart. Tomorrow we'll ready the armies. Rest well, you'll need your strength." Mix bowed deeply. "I'll make my father proud, and I'll make sure your people live to see another dawn." The moon hung full and bright when Mix stepped outside into the castle gardens. The air was cool, the scent of roses carried on the breeze. He found Sophia there, sitting by the fountain, gazing at the rippling water. She turned as he approached. "I knew you'd come," she said softly. Mix smiled faintly. "You always do." He sat beside her, the moonlight reflecting in her eyes. For a moment, neither spoke. The world felt still, just the sound of water, wind, and their heartbeats. Finally, he broke the silence. "I missed you, Sophia, more than I thought I could miss anyone." Her breath caught, and her eyes shimmered. "And I thought I lost you when you left for Elara. Every night I prayed you'd come back." Mix reached for her hand, fingers trembling slightly. "You were the reason I fought through that forest. Every time I almost gave in, I saw your face." Sophia smiled through her tears. "You fool." And then, for the first time, they kissed. Soft and uncertain at first, then deep and real. The kind of kiss that burned brighter than the torches of the castle itself. When they finally parted, Mix brushed a strand of hair from her face and whispered, "Whatever happens in this war, I'll come back to you." Sophia pressed her forehead to his. "You'd better." Meanwhile, the Silver Clan, far to the north. The night sky burned red with the light of forges. The Silver Clan's army stretched across the valley, Thousands of warriors clad in glinting armor, their banners fluttering in the cold wind. At the center of the camp stood Aaron, his silver eyes glowing beneath his helm. "Prepare the vanguard," he commanded. "We march at dawn. This time the son of Perseus dies by my blade." Lightning flashed behind him, illuminating rows of soldiers ready for war. The drums of the Silver Clan began to thunder. The storm had begun.